I hear you. I can't get over Chael Sonnen. I think he's the best who's ever done it. I still rewatch his shit sometimes. I watched him like he just beat Shogun, and like he calls out. He uses the opportunity, having just beat Shogun, a former world champion, to call out Wanderlei Silva. And while he's doing it, Joe Rogan, like, he's holding the mic for him, and he pulls it away briefly. And he's like, give me that mic back. I just beat a world champion. If you think I won't take out a middle-aged comedian just for the fun of it, you got another thing coming. And I was like, fuck, you guys he's riffing on the fly. He has, he's scripted stuff, new stuff.
Great stuff. One of them was something like, Joe's like, how does it feel? And he's like, I want to know how. You tell me how it feels. Is it electrifying to be in Chael's arena, in Chael's stadium with Chael's people?
Yeah. He's like, when you're the greatest fighter in the world, they don't call you the greatest fighter in the world. They call you Chael P. Sonnen. It's like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Have you seen him in the press conference with Tito Ortiz when he's talking about Tito's wife?
Yes.
He says
that made a living with her mouth.
Tito always says, I'm using my mouth to get opportunities. The only person I know that made money using their mouth is his ex-wife.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
He has that whole bit about the Nogueira brothers, about how when they first landed in the U.S., they were, I saw Big Nog. I swear this is true. He went up to a city bus. He tried to feed it a carrot. Little Nog was stroking it. He thought it was a horse. He was whoa, big fella. You believe this? This actually happened. Do you believe it happened? He's saying this to Ariel, and Ariel's like, no, I don't. It happened. I saw it with my own eyes. I'm telling you, a man fed a carrot to a bus.
And then, like, later, it comes back, and all of Brazil is so mad. They hate him. He's like, in my defense, I did not know that Brazil had the internet. Just like laying down extra insults.
Don't you think that Chael should kick Ariel's ass for calling him a pussy or whatever? He was like,
no.
I didn't. Yeah,
I think he called him a weasel or something.
What did he call him?
He called him all sorts of things.
It was insane to watch that.
I saw Chael's video where he basically like quashed it. And I think he admitted some fault in the argument himself. That he had said some things, and I thought he did a really fair job of sort of quashing it, and then just really laser focused everything on Jorge Masvidal, who's somebody he can actually fight. What was unacceptable was when Ariel Helwani suggested that Chael Sonnen is an anti-Semite, because he did that right on his show. I heard it. I synced it with my own eyes.
You seen it?
So he's like, I wonder why he's piling on Chael on me all of a sudden. Maybe it's because lately it's kind of fashionable to do that. Maybe it's a little fashionable to do that against people like me.
Like, that has fucking anything to do with it at all. Like, it's so ridiculous, dude.
Oh,
he's the worst.
Called him a weasel, which I didn't know was an anti-Semitic thing. But I think Ariel called Chael a weasel. You've never heard? Oh, I hadn't heard before you.
A weasel is just like a slimy, shitty guy. Wait, so who? The fighter called the other guy a weasel?
It's complicated. Journalist, two media journalists at this point. Yeah, they're both ex-fighter and journalist essentially.
Okay, well, I can buy a fighter being mad at a journalist that covers their sport. Like,
it's not,
of course,
exactly that anymore. They're more peers at this point. They're like ESPN co-hosts and that sort of thing. Chael has been retired for a while. I think his last fight might have been Fedor, but it's been a while. And now he's mostly, I see him on YouTube. I watch every YouTube video he does if I'm interested. He does like 3 or 4 videos a day. But he talks fighting. He talks mostly UFC, and he covers it really well. I like him a lot. Don't like Ariel very much. He seems like an awful human being.
What else did he do?
He's just a real instigator.
He's a rat
and backstabby, sort of sneak.
He's like making
I actually don't know. There are a lot of fighters who don't like him, and I always feel like he's doing a good job. I like him, so I don't understand why other people don't. He will ask you the thing you don't want to be asked. You know, like, hey, I saw you got into a beef with this guy. You are looking to put that in the past. This isn't what your focus is right now, but I'm dragging it out because it's the juiciest close click getting thing going on right now. Kyle.
He interviewed Jorge Masvidal, for example, and he's like, you spent a little time in prison, huh? Back in the day, a little trouble with the law. This is a guy who's second or third biggest name in the UFC at this point, and he's trying to like capitalize on that. Now it's time to get those like not just $1 million nights, $2-3 million nights. And he's like, oh, he's like, I don't know, those was rumors. That might not have even been me. He's like, no, I believe, he's like, starts getting paperwork out and shit. He's like, he's like, you don't want to talk about it? He's like, he goes, Skip, let's just not, he's like, oh, could we talk about your father? Like, yeah, my pops. What's up about him? He's like, he was also in prison for a while. And it's like, holy shit, you fucker. Let this guy make his, why are you doing this? He's trying to like, UFC's trying to market this guy to like a different crowd. Okay. This could be our new Conor McGregor. Look at him. He's ethnic. He's got cool hair and an accent. He's from Cuba. Like we can have him fight in Florida. It'll be great. Like it was a bad look.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fucked up. You ever seen John Anik be like, both of these guys are fighting for custody of their children or something like
that? which journalist said that? That's pretty funny.
John Anik. So the fight is happening.
Well, I like that one.
It's like that moment right as the two fighters are in the octagon and like they're getting the cameras out of there and getting the cords and locking the door and everything. And you're adding some little tidbits, some color commentary. Oh, yeah, actually, this guy trains Shaolin kickboxing originally and transitioned into Muay Thai, but he's just like, actually, both fighters tonight fighting custody battles for their children. Jonathan let us know that he has no idea where his son is and hopes he hears from him soon. It's just like,
fuck that, dude.
And what it was, I actually heard John Anik speak on this, and I hope I don't get it exactly right, but one of the fighters had been like, hey, I want to draw attention to this. I'm trying to get my kid back, and they're railroading me. Any attention we could shed on this would be good. But the other fighter wasn't down. He was like, the fuck are you talking about my kids for on the like I'm trying, what are you doing? So it was a mixed bag of weirdness. The UFC is great because it's not polished. NFL is like every time I don't like the NFL, but when I watch one of those games, it's like, man, they got their shit together when they put this show on. Like the way like there's never any dead time on the air. Like you watch college ball, they'll fuck up occasionally, but the show they put on, the NFL show, was incredibly polished. UFC not so much. There's a fan dove out and attacked a fighter last pay-per-view. Hit him. Dove out of the crowd like in a movie. You know how somebody dives head first? Like that gives them. Did that and like hit a fighter. Paulo Costa. Like absurd things happen.
I wonder if like what impact that had on Costa.
Yeah, none.
You think none, right? But who knows? Maybe he has like an adrenaline dump on the walk out. Maybe that like is in his head.
He wasn't there to fight. Remember, he had the fucking staff in his elbow. He couldn't make the fight. There's a whole mix up, and
so he's fine.
Costa's not a real fighter. Costa is a guy who stays famous and marketable by pretending to be a UFC fighter. He's pulled out so many times. The last time he pulled out was supposed to be the last time they were going to give him another fight, and here he is again. And granted, you look at his elbow; it's rotting off. But I mean, he's just not a reliable fighter.
Yeah, right. Like you say, this guy's falling too many times, and then people stop believing you.
Yeah. I think he cried wolf like 3 or 4 times, and then missed weight as well, while like cracking jokes on the internet. But now he's got a staff in his elbow. I think that Charles Oliveira was so afraid to fight Islam Makhachev a second time that he sparred hard until he got hurt. I think he got himself cut. I think that's exactly what he did. Like that dude's scared of Islam Makhachev. Everyone should be. The fucking Russian Muslims are the toughest motherfuckers on the planet. I'm gonna let you know right now. They're the scariest, toughest motherfuckers on the planet. They're about to eat that sport alive. It's gonna be all white dudes.
I wonder what their win-loss record is compared to YouTubers against professional athletes, because they're doing well.
They're like 87-1. Like when you take like Islam, Khabib, and like a couple more of them, you get to like 87-1 or something like that. It's ridiculous.
I mean, shit. Jake Paul losing to Tyson Fury's cousin, whatever, Tommy Fury, is the only time I think a YouTuber has lost to a professional athlete.
And they say that could have gone either way. Like I keep seeing them give the other guy a hard time about how close that was. I can't watch that shit. The Ngannou fight was the only boxing match I've watched anytime recently, other than the Harley or Wings or something like that, like a YouTube.
Wings fight's the best one that's ever been made.
Fuck yeah. Chael has been hilarious lately. Chael got into a whole like argument on Ariel Helwani show in an interview. They're yelling at each other, cursing at each other. Seemingly maybe they quashed that, but before they could, Jorge Masvidal, weasel that he is, now that his court case with Colby Covington is over, slides in on Ariel's show and talks a lot of shit about Chael, says some stuff, and Chael just roasted him on Twitter. It was really funny shit. Like something about like, can you kick with wearing that ankle bracelet? That court ordered ankle bracelet. Something about, did you go to a Miami dent shop to get Miami body shop to get them dents? That dent Usman put in your head pulled out. Like just really like went after.
Did you see the one about how they're not likely to run into each other?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say?
Chael's response was so good.
I need to see it. I need to look for it.
I would love to see Chael fight again. That's a good fight for him, Jorge Masvidal. They should make that fight somewhere, bare knuckle, or boxing or MMA. Either way, I'd watch that fight. Chael Sonnen versus Jorge Masvidal, because he ain't fighting nobody else.
Yeah, that would be good.
Chael Sonnen's like a retired media guy now, isn't he?
Yeah, but he fought Fedor like 2-3 years ago, right? 3 years ago when he's probably 44 now. He's still on like steroids and big, like training. You'll see him with like a mouse under his eye. Like, Chael's ready to go.
Yeah, I can't let you get close to me.
I can't let you get close to me. I love Chael Sonnen. He's fucking hilarious. He's had some of the funniest shit ever at press conferences.
So Jorge Masvidal said, "You juice head. I bet you won't say any of this in person. Keep that same energy when you see me." And Chael replied, "You know, since I don't spend much time in county jails, homeless shelters, methadone centers, or dodgy unlicensed outdoor barbershops, it's unlikely we'll see each other in person anytime soon." It's like, Jesus Christ.
That's so good.
Unlicensed barbershops is the cream on that cupcake. That's very funny.
Because you can see Jorge and like videos getting his like awful hairline braided up, like, you know, cornrows and stuff. Like he's got this. I think he's Cuban or something, or maybe he's got some heritage. Jorge's a piece of shit. It's what he is. Colby Covington is like the heel of the UFC. He's the MAGA hat wearing Donald Trump's "my president, stay off the railroad tracks," you know, kind of guy. He talked all that shit to Jorge and then whooped his ass for 25 minutes in front of the world. And Jorge couldn't handle that. So he assaulted Colby on the streets. He ran up behind him wearing a disguise, punched him in the back of the head, and then ran away and then laughed about it on social media. They just finished that legal case. What
was the result of it? Like,
was it like a misdemeanor, I think?
Yeah. He played it down to a misdemeanor.
Dude, that makes you look like a bitch as a professional fighter, running up in a disguise in like a cape, punching someone and fleeing.
Yeah.
After you lost.
Yeah,
that's
really
he lost the fight. He had an opportunity. This is only like 2 or 3 days after the fight, right?
It's like 3 days after the fight, if that. Like, it's right after.
He just lost the fight. Scores posted. This street assault thing doesn't make him look like the tougher guy to me.
Yeah.
No,
you don't look tough. Sucker punching people.
No. Yeah. I mean, if he squared up with them and beat him in the street, like, okay, Colby, you want to go again? Colby says, well, heck yes, I would like to go again. I enjoy this sort of thing. And then they square up and Jorge wins. Now the record's tied, but that's not how it went down.
Yeah.
No.
He probably didn't want that because he just got his ass kicked 3 days earlier, based on what you're saying.
That's why MMA is the best fucking sport, man, because you can talk all that shit you want to if you're LeBron James. Yeah, you come here, I'm going to put this ball in that hole over there so many fucking times, bro. You don't even know.
And when you try to, I won't let you.
That classic basketball trash talk. You just try and shoot that ball right through that hoop. Not going to happen, Buster.
Like, what are the consequences?
I would love it if someone did that.
But in MMA, it's like, I'm gonna knock your fucking teeth out on Monday. Like, I'm gonna choke you in front of your family. Your wife's gonna watch while you submit to me. I will be on top. You will be on the bottom. Your children will watch, and you will submit to me. Like, if you're on the other end of that, you're like, shit, man. How'd you know my family's coming and all?
That's what Khabib did to Conor.
Should have played baseball,
right? Conor,
and they take half your pay.
Shit. And then Khabib is like, talk now, say something, as he's beating the fuck out of Conor McGregor.
They take half your pay when they win?
Well, you don't get a win bonus. Like, if you win, you get like usually double your show pay.
Ooh,
that's with a few exceptions, the contracts will be like this amount to show and usually an equal amount to win.
50-50.
So it's like
you lose walk in that ring, another 50 if you whoop his ass. So when you're down there, you're like, he's getting extra $50,000 just to humiliate me, like, and it was mine, $50,000.
And then you look on their social media after the fight, and it's just like so many fat retards being incredibly mean. Like every losing fighter just gets berated relentlessly.
Oh yeah, if I lose a fight in front of the world, you can bet your ass. Like I'm watching fun videos on YouTube. I'm not even opening social media. No
it's
chance.
Hard not. Well, you're right, and that's mentally healthy. But I bet a lot of them don't do that. I bet a lot of them just hate doom scroll, I guess it's called.
Yeah.
Listening to the world give them a hard time.
Yeah, you can't do that if you're an internet personality or like in a much more intense way, a fighter. Like you have to not engage with that stuff or it'll turn you into a weirdo.